Hi everyone. In this session we are going to discuss some of the topics from the chapter Human Eye and Colorful World. The topics which we are going to cover in this session are refraction through prism, angle of deviation of prism, dispersion, spectrum, rainbow formation. This topic we are going to cover in this session. We are going to cover refraction through prism, angle of deviation of prism, dispersion, spectrum, rainbow formation. Let's start the discussion. Refraction of light through a prism. What do you mean by the term refraction? We know that light can travel only in a straight line. Light will travel in a straight line, right? In some cases, light can bend. Light can travel in a deviated direction. When light is traveling from one medium to another medium, the light will bend, right? The velocity of light will decrease. Because of the decrease in velocity, there will be refraction. Here we are going to discuss refraction of light through a prism. What do you mean by a prism? Here you can see a prism. It is a prism. Here you can see a prism. It is a prism. When we are transmitting light through this prism, what is going to happen? Here there is a light. When light is passing through this prism, light is transmitting from air to glass, right? It is air and this one is glass. When the light is passing from one medium to, when the light is traveling from one medium to another medium, what is going to happen? There will be bending, right? The light will bend. The light will change its direction. Here you can see it is the path of the light, and after getting inside the prism, it will change its direction. Here we are drawing a normal. Normal means it is a line perpendicular to the refracting surface. It is a refracting surface. It is a line. This line is perpendicular to the refracting surface, so it is normal. When light is transmitting, when light is traveling from air to glass, there will be bending of light. So here this light ray is going to undergo refraction, right? So you can see the refraction, it is a refracted ray. This one is a refracted ray. And again we are drawing a normal here. It is a normal. And when light is passing from glass, when light is transmitting from glass to air, what is going to happen? There will be refraction again. So this is a refracted ray. So it was an incident ray, it is refracted ray, it is emergent ray because it is coming out of the prism. So it is emergent ray. Incident ray, refracted ray, emergent ray. This ray is incident ray, right? It is incident ray, it is normal, and it is emergent ray. When we are extending this incident ray, here you can see the incident ray, we are going to extend that incident ray. When we are extending that ray, and when we are extending this emergent ray, we are extending incident ray and emergent ray, we will get an angle here. When we are extending these two rays, we will get an angle here. This angle is known as angle of deviation, which is represented by the letter D. This angle is angle of deviation. So what is angle of deviation? It is the angle between incident ray and emergent ray. The angle between incident ray and emergent ray is known as angle of deviation. This angle is angle of incidence, which is represented by the letter I, and this angle is angle of refraction, represented by the letter R, and here you can call it as angle of emergence, represented by the letter E. This one is angle of emergence. Angle of deviation. The angle of deviation of prism is defined as the angle between incident ray and emergent ray. Now we can discuss dispersion. What do you mean by the term dispersion? You can understand the term dispersion by this diagram, by this picture. The dispersion means it is a splitting of light. Let's see that. Here you can see a prism. It is a prism. When white light is passing through the prism, the white light is passing through the prism. It is white light, and when white light is passing through the prism, it will split into 7 component colors. Light consists of 7 colors: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. White light consists of 7 colors. When light is passing through this prism, it will split into 7 components colors. It is known as, this phenomenon is known as dispersion of light. So what do you mean by dispersion of light? Dispersion is the phenomenon. When light is passing through a prism, it will split into 7 colors. This phenomenon is known as dispersion. Dispersion is the process of splitting of light into its component colors. The component colors are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. We are getting a spectrum. After dispersion, we are getting the arrangement of colors violet to red. This arrangement is known as spectrum. spectrum. So what do you mean by spectrum? The band of colors obtained after dispersion, or the band of colors obtained, is known as spectrum. Reason for dispersion of light. What is the reason for the dispersion of light? Why dispersion is happening when light is traveling, when light is passing through a prism? Now we are going to discuss the reason for dispersion. It is a prism. Here you can see a prism. It is white light. White light consists of 7 colors: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. When white light is passing through the prism, these colors are having different wavelength. Violet is having less wavelength, red is having more wavelength. The bending of colors depend on the wavelength. Which color is having more wavelength? Red is having more wavelength, so bending will be minimum. Which color is having less wavelength? The violet is having least wavelength, the bending will be maximum. Bending of light, the bending of color will depends on the wavelength. So white light consists of 7 colors. Each color is having different wavelength, means the bending will be different. The bending of red will be minimum and bending of violet will be maximum, which means there will be a splitting. So what is the reason for splitting? The reason for splitting is different in wavelength, and the colors are going to travel with different speed in the medium. Inside the prism, different colors are having different speed, so there will be bending. The bending will be different. Each color is traveling with a different speed, so the bending will be different. The bending of red will be minimum and bending of violet will be maximum. That is the reason for dispersion. Each color is having different wavelength and different speed in the medium, so the bending will be different. That's a reason for this splitting. Each color is having different wavelength, so the angle of deviation are different for different colors. Because of the different wavelength, the angle of deviation is different for different colors. That is the reason for splitting. So what is the reason for dispersion? Dispersion is taking place because of change in wavelength. The bending of red color is least and bending of violet color is the most. It's a prism. Here you can see a prism and it is white light. White light is passing through the prism, and when white light is passing through the prism, what is going to happen? There will be dispersion, right? There will be splitting of colors. We are going to show 2 colors only, red and violet. Red is going to have minimum deviation, violet is going to have maximum deviation because of the change in wavelength, right? We are going to consider 2 colors, red and violet. Red is going to have minimum deviation because of maximum wavelength, and violet is going to have maximum deviation because of minimum wavelength. So these are the colors, red and violet. Now we are going to arrange an identical prism, the similar prism in inverted position. What is going to happen? Here you can see the prism here, and what is going to happen to this color? This colors are going to combine again. These colors are going to combine again and we will get white light, right? So we can say that when we are arranging the second prism in inverted position, we will get the white light back. Now we are going to discuss the reason for rainbow formation. What is the reason for rainbow formation? White light is splitting into 7 colors. That is the reason for rainbow formation. What is the reason for rainbow formation? What is the reason for the formation of rainbow? That we are going to discuss now. The water droplets present in the atmosphere will act as tiny prisms. When light is passing through these water droplets, we will get rainbow. We can see rainbow. Dispersion of light because of raindrops is the reason for the formation of rainbow. So what is the reason for rainbow formation? Dispersion of light because of the raindrops present in the atmosphere. Here you can see a raindrop. It is a raindrop. We are considering a raindrop. What is going to happen when white light is passing through the raindrop? We already discussed raindrop is a tiny prism. So when the light is passing through this prism, what is going to happen? It will split into its component colors. We are going to show only 2 colors, red and violet. Which color is having maximum deviation? Violet is having maximum deviation because it is having least wavelength. Which color is having minimum deviation? Red, because it is having maximum wavelength in the colors. So the splitting will be like this. Here the splitting will be like this. Here you can see the splitting, violet and red. It deviated. The angle of deviations are different for these 2 colors. At this point, it is going to reflect. This is known as total internal reflection. First refraction, then reflection. It is going to reflect and we are getting reflected ray. Again it is refracting, we are getting the rainbow. 2 time refraction, 1 time total internal reflection. There are 2 processes, refraction and total internal reflection. So this is the reason for the rainbow formation. Water droplets acts as tiny prisms. Light undergoes 2 refractions and 1 total internal reflection. Then there will be formation of rainbow. Thanks for watching.